Hey everyone, this is Borvak. Gonna review Ant-Man and the Wasp Living Legends #1 today. I saw this in the store, comic shop, and just a nice cover here. Janet's looking great here. We've got Scott Lang. We don't know it's Scott Lang, but it is Scott Lang here in the background. And we've also got a statue of Ant-Man, Hank Pym, and Janet here in her old costume, his old costume. They're dodging lasers. So what's going on? I don't know. It's a nice dynamic cover. Again, I really like Janet's outfit. She's pulling Scott there. So we're gonna jump right in and find out. And I like this. Look at this. Page #1. Aside from the ad, page #1 tells you what the story is, what part it is, who's writing it. None of this halfway through the book, none of this at the end. It's right there. You pick it up on the shelf, you're like, oh, who's writing this? I don't know if this is George Macchio or Fred Macchio. Oh, it's Ralph Macchio. You find out. It tells you. I like this. So there we go. We'll get right in. We've got Scott Lang. He's driving the Ant-Man Security Solutions. Oh man, that's so goofy. How low can you go as a superhero when you're just hiring yourself out as a security? I read a Scott Lang Ant-Man book a little while ago, and I didn't like it. It was just he was just an idiot, and he was lying to his ex-wife in order to be irresponsible and hang out with his daughter, and it was just living out of a dollhouse in his daughter's apartment. It was so stupid. He was like just an irresponsible idiot. I think Mark Waid wrote that. No. Sorry. Nick Spencer. There was another Mark Waid Ant-Man book out when I got this book, but Mark Waid and I have had our differences recently, so I'm not boycotting so much as I just hard to pick up a book by Mark Waid right now. So hopefully that changes. Like to see everyone do well. Don't like to dislike anyone, but sometimes these things aren't the same. So anyway, I'm sorry. So Scott Lang, I don't know. This is kind of not a very high level for Scott Lang to be at, but he's responsible in this book. I like this. His truck breaks down, so he gets a flying ant. Ants can only fly during a very short time period during their life cycle, right? I think that's true. But he's gonna fly, and he's going over to meet Janet Van Dyne. Is that how you say her last name? I think it's Van Dyne. Not Van Din, Van Dyne. I'm going to say Van Dyne. You guys can correct me. And she says, hey, handsome, how you doing? So she is, of course, Hank Pym's wife. And apparently she called on Scott for something. So we're going to find out what it is. So she invites him into her house. And they've got up on the monitor, there's some alien guy they're trying to overthrow some evil empire, and she says, hey, Hank Pym, he says, Hank Pym helped us out before, Hank Pym, and you, Janet, you helped us, we need your help again. And Scott's like, well, I'm not Hank, and Janet's like, yeah, well, you're good enough. So we go through a quick history of Hank Pym was fighting these people, and the Wasp was there, and there's like an eraser, that can erase people into different dimensions, which is like the most comic book thing I've ever heard. And Hank like fixed it, and they fought some stuff. They fought the people, and they overthrew the evil people, and they were victorious, and everyone was happy. And look how crazy is that outfit Janet's wearing in that, and Ant-Man too. I really prefer the redesigns over kind of that goofy. It had to be like 70s, or I don't know. When was this story from? I don't know. You guys tell me. But Scott's like, hey, I got this. And he erases them to that world dimension wherever they're going. And she does she say it here? Yeah. This was really insightful, this line here. So good job, Ralph Macchio. And good job, Andrea DeVito, too. Oh, this was drawn by... Interesting. Good job on both of you. I like this book. So she says basically when she was here with Hank last time, he was the responsible one, and she was kind of the carefree one. But Scott Lang is really carefree and quippy, and that brings out kind of the older sister personality in her, and now she's the serious one. And I found that to be true in real life. Not that older sisters are serious because I don't have any, so you guys have to attest to that for me. But people act differently around different people. Different people bring out different dynamics in you. So that was just interesting, the little thought bubbles here where she's explaining that, which that's very true. That's insightful as a writer, I think. Um, but they're breaking in. They're small, so they go in. They break all the locks, and breaking people out, and they've got to go into the enemy fortress. It's got a force field, and Scott's like, no problem. We'll just dig under it, which, that's cool. Oh yeah, they have a statue of Hank Pym here and Janet, like we saw on the cover. They commemorate Hank Pym and Janet for helping them overthrow the evil Empire people previously. And this guy doesn't seem to get that Scott isn't Hank, but Janet just kind of almost plays like he is. Scott's trying to explain that he's not, and Janet's like, yeah, sure, we'll help you guys, and we'll help you. So Scott and Janet shrink down, and they actually find some alien ants that they can burrow down beneath the barrier and let the rebellion in, basically. And the villains are holding an eraser one, which is a giant eraser that this time doesn't look like an eraser, that can erase all of his people, all of the evil people, into the human world to take over everything. Mwah, ha 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 ha. But Janet's gonna shrink down into the eraser and destroy it. Meanwhile, this guy has a better eraser that erases people not into different dimensions, but erases them from existence or some such thing. And again, nice image of Janet. There's a really nice, I saw a figurine, really nice figurine of Janet, where it's in the process of shrinking, where you get the different, it's partly see-through and then less see-through and then less see-through and then totally opaque is the smallest version, or maybe it was the other way around, where it's mostly see-through, partially see-through, mostly opaque, and then fully opaque is the bigger one. It was a really nice figure. I want to start collecting figures, but I don't have the money for it. But that's a really nice image. I like that. So she's shrinking down to do that. Scott is shrinking and growing to avoid this guy and throw him off balance as he tries to erase him, and one touch will destroy him. This book was all very classic and very comic booky. It kind of gives me a Stan Lee sort of feel to it, just the goofiness but the sincerity at the same time. So Janet goes in to destroy it, but it kicks her out. I guess she destroyed the mechanism, but I think it might have hurt her in the process in the explosion. Nice picture there. She's dodging the eraser 2 and eraser 1, but she is also dodging the eraser 1. How's that? Scott erases the enemy. He he escapes death. Again, Janet's looking really good in this. I like how effeminately she's drawn. Really nice art. Look at that expression on her face. Really good. She was hit back, and so she's in danger, and Scott jumps in and takes the chance to erase him. So that's good. And the rebellion is saved, and everyone is happy. Scott has proven himself, and this guy is he erased him to a shield prison cell where he belongs, and he doesn't like it there. He's sulking. Look at that. But that's the story. And I like it. Again, Ant-Man and the Wasp, #1. Again, I think that's the Mark Waid book. I'm probably not picking it up, unfortunately. And that's the different Wasp. This is Janet. That's the Hope. I think that's Hope Van Dyne, which would be Janet's daughter, I think. I'm guessing. The costume's different, it must be. So probably still Scott, probably Janet. I want to see Hank Pym back. Everyone hates Hank because in the comics he slapped his wife once, but I mean, who hasn't done something stupid in comics? It's easy to erase from history. Scott was a good character. He gets a lot of flack he doesn't deserve. And I mean, guys, don't hate your wife. That's inexcusable. But I mean, this is comic books. And you know, I like Hank. He was a good character. He gets a bad rap. So bring Hank back. Scott did a good job in this book, though. He stepped up. Janet was awesome. Go pick it up. This has my recommendation. It's goofy, it's silly, but it's earnest, and it tries to tell you a good and fun story. So I recommend it. And if there's going to be a number 2, I don't know if this is a one-off, but if there's a number 2 coming out, I am probably going to pick it up. I'll have to remember Ralph Macchio. So yeah, what do you guys think, though? Did you like the book? Have you read the book? Again, I recommend if you see it, pick it up. See what you think. Give it a read through for yourself, word by word, column by column, page by page, instead of my kind of just quick read through. Experience it for yourself, and put it in your long box. Put it in your short box. If you're the sort of person who holds on to this sort of thing. But let me know what you think about the book. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Is there anything I forgot or mentioned or was wrong about? Let me know in the comments section. If you like the video, feel free to give me a like, and feel free to subscribe too if you want my stuff showing up in your feed. I do that free of charge. Thanks a lot. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.